Hello everybody, Rosemary here from the Lavinia Stamps Design team. I hope you're all keeping well and enjoying the new release. I just love them all. They are absolutely wonderful stamps. As always, Tracy is a really fantastic designer. So today I thought I'd demonstrate this card for you and it's called the Pumpkin Lodge. So I've called my card Welcome to Pumpkin Lodge. So to start with, we need a piece of A5 card. I will be cutting it down to a 14cm square at the end, but I just really like to use an A5 and then I can decide what parts I want to cut off myself. And we're going to use Spiced Pumpkin Distress Oxide, so I think it works fantastic with water. And we're just going to get our brush and we're just going to brush some in there. And I'm just going to gently go around the centre of my card. Some colours will have more, some areas, sorry, will have more colour than others. Just try to keep it in sort of like the middle of the card. And I'm quite happy with that. So I quite like that. I'm not using that one, I'm keeping that one for another project. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of super smooth card. And I'm going to place my stencil with the ink already on it on top. And I'm going to get another piece of card, gently spray above my piece of card, not too much water, but a fair bit. I'm going to place this on top like a sandwich and I'm just going to press to get the impression of the ink from the stencil onto my card. Fingers crossed it works again. Sometimes it doesn't and sometimes it does. And there we go. So we've now got the reverse of our, and it does dry a little bit darker. I'm going to place my Pumpkin Lodge so that there's a little bit of the pattern underneath for the doorway and a little bit at the top. Well, a bit more at the top, just a little bit at the bottom and a bit more at the top. So I'm now going to put my magnets on to hold my piece of card in place. Oh, I've lost the card now. I'm going to stamp this with Summertime. The nice orange Versafine Clair. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, it's a little bit too bright for a Pumpkin Lodge, I found, but I like the end effect that I got when I went over it again. So there's our pumpkin. Press down a little bit more. There's my little teddy bear that was bought from a friend. Now has a good use. And then I'm going to ink over the top with Morning Mist. Stamp that with Morning Mist and it brings the tone of the orange down, but you can still see it in the background and I quite liked that. So that's that for our Pumpkin Lodge. We're going to colour it in later with Polychromo pencils. So there we go, that's nice. Okay, So then I made a mask. Using masking sheet. I'm going to place that over my pumpkin lodge. There we go. So I've masked off our pumpkin lodge, so we can now concentrate on the background, getting our background into. Right, so we're going to use Woodland Fern, Slender Mushrooms, one of the stamps, this stamp from the Vine set, and the flowery stamp, this one, from the foliage set. And of course we're using the fairy Crook, or Crook or Crock, I'm not sure which, but it is a lovely. I'm going to do this one first, but I'm going back to my stamping platform to do this bit, and I'm going to ink this up in Shady Lane ink for my Crock. So I'm going to put my magnets back down to hold my card in place, and then what I did was, with this one, I placed it there, actually I'll bring it down a bit further, so I'll get a piece of paper, and cover up the bottom with my card so I can bring it down. It's better. That's much better. So I'm going to place that on there, and this side I want to curl it round a little bit, so I do that while it's on the platform. I want it to curl. I'm going to lift it up a little bit. I hope we're in shot. I think we are. So yeah, that's better. So place that there, and then just turn that round so it's got a little bit of a kink in it. Oh, that's too near the edge of the card. I'm just going to just play until you're happy. That's it. There we go. Just ink up. You don't need to worry about the bottom part. Just ink up the top. There we go. Beautiful. Now put down my piece of acetate now. I'm now going to do the other side. That's going to come this way. I'm going to place that there like that, and just stamp it. Makes it easier to move your stamp as well while it's on the acetate, so you're happy with where it lands and ends up. Make sure your acetate's not on your stamp, and remove it from your piece of card. And there we go, that's that part done. To stamp our Woodland Fern. So I'm just going to ink that up and press gently. And then I'm going to get my piece of acetate. And I'm going to place it so as it comes along the ground. I want it to be level with this here. Ink it up again. I'm using first generation inking for this part. There we go. Now we're going to move over to this side. So we still need our piece of acetate this way this time. I'm making sure that the bottom of my stamp stays on my masked area, so I don't end up with any little bit of green coming down from the bottom. And then we're going to ink that up and stamp that one. Just making sure my ink goes right up to the edge of the edge of the pumpkin lodge. And then once again, we're going to put one along the bottom. Making sure that it's on our mask as well, so we don't get any stray bits that we don't really want. There we go. Perfect. And what you need to be mindful of is, because we're using Versafine Clair and it's a wet ink, this part here will still be wet. So when we're lifting it up, we need to try not to put our fingers onto that area there, because otherwise we might get smudgy bits. I'm going to use this one, second generation. So this is the smaller Woodland Fern. So I'm just going to put that there. I think I put a little bit too much ink on the tip of that one then. So second generation, just there. So we've got 3 either side mask. So the next area we're going to do is we're going to use the vine stamp out of the vine set. Okay. And I'm using Plum Archival Ink. And I stamped this in first generation. So I'm going to put one there. And then one up next to it. Okay. And then I put one over this side. Right, we're going to have this one coming up here. I wanted to get it higher than everything else so far. So there we go. I'm going to put that there. And we inked these up in Orange Blossom Archival Ink. There we go. So that's our stamping done. So we've only got one more thing to stamp, and that's our Slender Mushrooms. Get them ready. Now, right, going to pick off my mask. Masking sheets, and then I'm going to wipe off ink. So they end up with ink all over them. Just tapping gently. And then I'm going to place it so the bottom of my mushrooms are in line with my leaf. And then I'm just going to press and hold so the ink soaks in to my card. And lift. Now it doesn't show up very much. So as you can see in this one, I've highlighted it in red glitter pen, and it made it look much more prominent. So we're going to use Polychromos, and I just gently went over. I'm going to speed this bit up a bit. Gently go over all of our pumpkin house with orange, number 111. They don't have to be in orange. You can get pumpkins in white, you can get them in green, you can get them in all sorts of colours really. But I've got a thing about orange, I just love the colour orange. With Polychromos, you can blend them all together using a pencil blending solution. There are lots of different ones on the market, and I've got lots of different ones, but what I do is I've got an old makeup jar. Well, it's a cream jar actually, face cream jar. I found this little bit of blue sponge and I placed it inside. Now I just pour it on top, and then I can just dip my pencil in. This is a pencil stub, paper stub. So I dip it in my pencil solution so it never gets too wet. And then you just go round in circles and it blends it all together and smooths all your pencil out. we are going to get our gold pen, our glitter pens, sorry, not gold pens, glitter pens. So I used red, orange and gold. Don't know if you can see now that it's starting to show up more, that it's now that it's drying. And we just go over the top of our mushrooms in the red glitter pen. You can see that they show up much better now. It's just finding hints and tips and tricks. Now I'm going to go around the edge and some Spice Marmalade Distress ink. And I'm just going to go around the edge of my card. And there we have our finished card. All we need to do now is mount it up. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to give this one a darker edge. So I'm just going to go around the edge, very thin edge, with a black Zig pen. These aren't the brush, these are the ones with the bullet nibs. And I just use a piece of card because it doesn't actually mark your work, whereas when you use a ruler it can mark your work. But this way the ink soaks straight into the card. I'm going to cut this one 15 centimetres. I've got a nice 15 centimetre, and I think it makes it stand out a little bit more, just that thin layer of black card. I'm going to do the same on this one this time after I've inked it up. So I'm just getting my oxide brush that I used previously. It's not too much colour, just a colour that matches with the card that you've made. It's amazing how far these brushes can go with the amount of ink that's in them. So that's going to sit on there. You could put a nice word in there. I thought hope. I like the word hope. And I'm going to use some Collel glue to stick it down with. There we go, in the bin. on that. Forgot to put my black mark round, but I can do that now. Place that on there. There we go. So that's our card mounted up. So I just need a blank card. This is an 8x8. I think it's a little bit too big. I'm going to cut it down to a 7x7. That way. Place that in the centre. Using collal glue, you've got a little bit room for wiggle. And there we go. That's our card. I just love this pumpkin lodge. This is the original one. So, I think they look absolutely beautiful. Just love them. Have a lovely day. I'm hoping that you're really enjoying the new ones, because as I said before, once again, they are absolutely stunning designs. And as always, so God bless till next time. See you soon. Bye.